And welcome to my Christmas in July series for 2024. This project is so easy and I'm calling it my Christmas Countdown album. If you do December daily, this is perfect for that. I designed this album so it is super easy. You probably already have all the supplies. I'm going to share with you the paper that I used. It is still available. I'm going to link it below. It is so beautiful. I'm just going to give you a quick look at what we're making today. So here's my beautiful cover with a chipboard frame. This is a quick flip through and I'm going to talk about all the details during the tutorial. So the album that we're making today is a new design that I came up with and I'm so excited to share it with you. It's so easy. It uses up a lot of double-sided paper. So if you have these collection kits that you can get from like scrapbook.com and other places, this is a perfect project for one of these collection kits. I'm using this paper collection called Holidays by Simple Stories. This collection has the most beautiful colors ever. There's like pinks, greens, reds, like some of those aqua colors are in there. And the reason I chose to use this one is because it comes with this entire sheet of numbers. And a lot of the Christmas paper pads and collection packs like this come with countdown numbers, but I just thought this was so cute. I'm going to go ahead and show you everything you're going to need to make this. It cannot be easier. So to make this album, you're going to need one piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I chose red because it goes really well with my paper collection that I'm using. And this is a pretty sturdy cardstock. Just make sure it's not super flimsy because this is going to be like the binding for our album and it's going to be super simple. Then you will need 7 pieces of double-sided scrapbook paper. If you don't have double-sided, you can use single-sided for this. Just one side will be blank, but you can always decorate it. So I'm using 7 pieces of 12 by 12 pattern scrapbook paper. So I'm going to show you how to do it with this one, but I've already cut my first 6 down. So I've already cut the first 6 of my 12 by 12 pieces of scrapbook paper. So let me turn it this way, you can see it better. And I'll show you how we're gonna cut these perfectly, but this is how it's gonna be. So you're gonna cut an 8 by 8 piece, and then that's gonna leave a 4 by 12, and it's gonna leave a 4 by 8. So we're gonna use all 3 of these in the album. So let me show you how to cut your 12 by 12 sheet down. We're gonna cut this at 8 by 8, so it doesn't matter which way your paper's turned because it's gonna be a perfect square. So let's cut the first cut at 8 by 8. So I have it in at 8 inches, and then I'm gonna turn it this way. and cut it at 8 again. So this is our main page, so we're gonna set that aside, and then it leaves you with these 2 scraps right here. This one right here is gonna measure 4 by 12, so all I'm gonna be doing now is cutting this at 4 inches, which is just gonna take off the branding strip. So this is gonna be 4, and we're gonna leave it at the 12. So this is a 4 by 12 piece, and then you're left over with this 4 by 8 piece as well. So that's how you will cut down the 7 sheets of your 12 by 12 paper. So with one piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, you're able to get 7 pieces that measure 8 by 1 1/4. So you're gonna need 7 of those. So now I have everything that I need for the album cut down, and so that leaves me with 7 pieces of double-sided 8 by 8 scrapbook paper, 7 pieces of 4 by 12, 7 pieces of 8 by 4, and 7 pieces of 1 1/4 by 8 of this red solid cardstock. So let's go ahead and get started on the simple tutorial. So we're first gonna do a little scoring, and we're gonna take our 1 1/4 by 8 inch cardstock pieces and just put this in your scoreboard on the 1 1/4 inch side, and we're gonna score this at 3/4 of an inch. So right here at 3/4 of an inch. It's gonna give you 3/4 and then the score line and then a 1/2 inch. So let's do the next one and score at 3/4. I'm gonna do the same thing to all 7 pieces. You're gonna take your 7 pieces that measure 4 by 12, and we're just gonna score these right in half. I'm gonna score all 7 of these right in half at 6 inches. So now we're gonna assemble the album, and this is gonna be the cutest little flip album ever. So these strip pieces are actually gonna be the binding. These are gonna be little pocket pages, and these are gonna be the main pages. So let me show you how we're gonna put this together, and I'm gonna be using my strong Scor tape. This is 1/4 inch double-sided sticky tape. You can use whatever you have. So I think I'm gonna do this plaid for my cover. With each of your pages of the album, you're gonna take one of these scored pieces and you're gonna slightly fold it a little bit, and I'm gonna take my 1/4 inch Scor tape, and you're gonna place this at the very edge of this 1/2 inch side. So if you see this, we've scored it at 3/4 of an inch. The 3/4 of an inch section is gonna be to the left, because that's how we're gonna bind the album. 1/2 inch is gonna be to the right, which is how we're gonna glue it to our page. So I'm gonna take this and put it right at the edge of the paper, just like that. And then you're gonna take your sheet, and whatever side is gonna be the front, you leave that free of glue, but you're gonna turn this over and you're gonna add another strip of the Scor tape right to the edge there. I'll show you what we did. We have this piece right side up, and it's gonna have a strip right at the edge on the 1/2 inch side of the score line. And then here's the page we're gonna put like this. So here's the cover. So on the other side, right there on the edge, we have a piece of Scor tape. So I'm just gonna go ahead and press those down with my bone folder, and then I'm gonna release on that one and on this side. So now we have stickiness right here and then right here. So what you're gonna do now is just take this and glue it down even with the top and bottom of your spine piece, just shy of the score line. So you don't want to go over the score line, you're going to go just shy of it. And once you have it, you can go ahead and press it down. And then I like to turn it around and press it here. So now we have our first page done. This is my cover. And so we have flap over here now that's 3/4 of an inch. And then we have 1/2 inch glued onto our page. Okay, so we have our cover page all done. Flip it like this just to see what is gonna look good next to it. So if it doesn't matter to you, you don't need to worry about it, but some of these kind of go better. So since this was very subtle, I want a more busy one next. So I think I'll do this page here. So for this page, we're gonna do it just a little bit different than the cover, and I'll show you how we're gonna do that. So just like the last one, you need an 8x8 page and one of your little binding pieces. And then we're gonna choose one of these to go with it as well. So I think this polka dot piece is gonna look super cute over the top of this, and I'll show you why. So you're gonna take your piece, remember we scored it in the middle, and just fold it on that score line. So the opening is on the left and the fold is on the right. So take your score tape or your whatever tape you're using and put it again right at the edge of the 1/2 inch side of that binding strip. Same as the other one. And just burnish this down. So then you're gonna take your little half sheet, and the inside you're gonna take your score tape again, do one strip here on this edge and a strip on the other edge as well. So one there and one here. Take off the backing. Now you're gonna take your little flippy page and eyeball the center of this. It doesn't bother me if it's not exactly centered, but if it bothers you, you can get out your ruler and stuff. But I'm just gonna eyeball the center, and I'm gonna sandwich this the same way as we did the first sheet. You're going to take it just shy of that middle score line. Just like that. Just let it fall into place. So then what you're gonna do different here that you didn't do on the other one, make this actually flip. Take some scissors, and yes, you're gonna have to cut a little bit where the stickiness is. It's not gonna be too bad. So take some scissors, and exactly where the top of that flip page meets, snip that right along there. So you just did a little snip, see? Do the same thing on this side. Here's a close-up of what we just did. You made it so this page can flip freely. And you still remember how glue here and down here. Back down on your surface, flip this over and get it out of your way for a minute. So then you're gonna take this page and do the same thing. Just glue it down a little shy of that score line, and you've got the stickiness on there already. Okay, so now you've got it glued down, and you need to burnish this with your bone folder to make sure it sticks really well, since we don't have glue here. And then same thing here. So if you think that looks funny, we're gonna clean it up when we decorate the album. Here is the two that we did. So of course we're always gonna line up the red flaps with each other, and I'll show you how we're gonna do the binding at the end. But here's what we have so far. We have this page, and then we have this cute little flip page, and this page. So what I did is I just took my wet glue and sealed the bottom of this pocket. It's a little bit wet still, but I just sealed it with some wet glue. I think I'll go with that one. I think it's super cute. Okay, so we're gonna do the exact same thing now. I'm gonna grab another one of my spine pieces, and I'm just gonna fold it a little bit so I can see that middle score line. I'm gonna take my score tape, just like the other one. Do it right there on the edge. So I'm gonna fold it in half. Just like that on the score line. So it's gonna be like this. Isn't that so cute? And I will add score tape to the two inside edges. There's like some paper that you have laying around that you wanna use up. Make a bunch of these albums, because once you make one, they go really fast. Okay, so I'm gonna release the score tape backing. So I'm gonna try to center this as best I can, but it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. And once I have it in place, just lay it down and then just press it down. Just cut right there at the edge where it meets the cardstock. Just like that. And just be really careful that you don't cut past the score line, of course. there we go. So again, I made those 2 cuts right there and right there. And now this can flip over. And I'm just gonna eyeball this one now and stick it on there just like the others, shy of the score line. So it gets really easy and goes fast after you do a couple of these. So now we have it there, and I'm gonna burnish the back. I love that teal color with the red against it. It's so pretty. Okay, so here is our next page. We have our flippy page here. That's a pocket. And then here's our next big page. So you're just gonna continue on like that until your very last page. That page, you're gonna do the same as the front. You're not gonna do a pocket on there. So I'm gonna seal up the pocket with this wet glue. And I'm talking a tiny bit will do the job because you don't want it to get warped. Okay, so we have 4 more of the 8x8 to go, and you're gonna do these the exact same way as the pocket pages that we just did, except for the very last page. So we got 3 more to go with 3 more pocket pages, and then our back cover. I'll be right back to show you how we're gonna number these 1 through 25. Okay, so I have all my pages done with the pockets and everything. I'll just do a quick little flip through. So here's this one. Remember, they're like little top loading pockets. There's that one. So these are so easy to put together. And then here's the back page. So I'll show you what we're gonna do next. Okay, so when you flip it over like this, I'm gonna skip this one for now, but all the other ones, when you flip it over like that, there's this kind of like weird situation going on here because of the gap right here. So I'm gonna take the pages that I cut down to 4x8 and make a cute little side loading pocket right here. So these are perfect because they already measure 8 inches tall and it's just 4 inches, so it's gonna be half of the page. And what I like to do for pockets sometimes is take a circle punch. So this one just happens to be a 2-inch scallop circle, and you just take it and go about 1/3 of the way down, and then just snip out a little pull notch, just like that. So I'm gonna take this and glue it right here on the sides and on the bottom so it becomes a pocket. And that's how we're gonna get more real estate on this. And I'll show you what we're gonna put in the pocket in a second. But, so take your little pocket that we just made, and I'm gonna turn it around and glue just the 2 sides and the bottom with some wet glue. I'm just gonna use a very thin bead of wet glue. And you wanna really take it easy on the wet glue because you don't want this to get warped, because we're just using like single sheets of paper here, so it could easily get warped if you put too much glue. And then you just want to meet that middle score line and just go shy of it again, and then glue this down, and it becomes a cute little side loading pocket. So that's this page here. So now we have a side loading pocket, as you can see. I'm gonna do the rest of these pages that have the gap. So it's gonna be these 5 pages. So we have 4 more to go, and then don't worry about this page. We're gonna do something different here. So I added all the side loading pockets. So here's the first one. And then we have this cute one here. That one. That one. And then that cute one there. That leaves us with 2 pieces left of the 8x4. So for the back and the front inside covers, I'm gonna actually make a pocket on the bottom. So we're gonna do it like that. And yeah, I'll switch that one to back there. And then this one here. So it looks super cute. So let me show you. I think for these, I'm not gonna do a notch. I'm just gonna do a pocket. So I'm not gonna do a notch on these, I don't think. So all we're gonna do now is just glue the 3 sides again. So if you take this to the very, very edge of your paper this way, so if you line it up with that edge and then lay it down, it'll be the perfect fit. So that's the front inside cover. So then flip back to the back inside cover and do the exact same thing right there. Before I show you how we're gonna bind this, I'm gonna take one of my corner chompers and I'm gonna round all the corners. It just helps for the corners not to get bent back, and it gives it more of like a decorative finished look. So I usually use like just a regular corner rounder, but I've been using this scallop corner rounder and I really like it. So I'm just gonna take my front cover and I'm going to chomp. So see what a cute shape that gives it? And I'm gonna do the same thing for these two corners. Take the scallop punch, and again, just use a corner rounder if you have it. You can use whatever you want, but I just thought that gave it a cute little decorative shape. So now that's the shape of our album, and I'm going to do that to all of my pages. I got all my pages punched and it's super cute. They all line up with the same little shape in the corner. And now I'm going to show you how we're going to bind these. It's going to be so easy. I'm going to use seam binding to bind these. It's going to give it a really beautiful decorative touch and of course bind all our pages together. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to make 3 punched holes on the side. I have my crocodile, and if you don't have one, just use a hole punch. So there's a 3/16 side and a 1/8 side. I'm gonna use the 3/16 because that's like a standard hole punch. And what I'm gonna do is just eyeball this. I know a lot of people don't like to eyeball stuff, but I'll show you how we're gonna perfectly line these up. So I'm just gonna do one close to the top in the center of that strip. Right there. Then I'm gonna go down and do another one at the bottom. And then I'm gonna do one in the middle. So I have the 3 holes punched on the side. And then all you do is you line up the next one very, very evenly with the scalloped corners and the edge here. And you're just going to punch the holes in the exact same spot as these ones. So I'm just gonna line it up, punch your holes in the same spot. It's really easy to see it through the crocodile. There we go. So there you go. I punched the holes in the exact same spot, and I'm just gonna keep doing that for all of my pages. All my holes punched, and they're all even. So next thing we need to do is bind this together. But before we do that, I want to decorate my cover. I'm going to decorate my front cover, and then we'll bind it with the seam binding. And then I'll show you what we're going to do at the inside to number it and make it all cute. So again, I'm using this beautiful Holly Days collection. It comes with so many cute things. And one of the things you can get, which I will link below, is this pack of chipboard frames. I think it's so pretty. So I'll link that pack below too. It's also on sale. I cut out that cute 4x6 card. And I want to put it behind the frame just like this. So first I'm just going to glue this down. I'm just going to use my adhesive roller here. So I'm going to try to center this the best I can. And this has lines on it, so I should be able to do it pretty easily. So I have my image there, and now I just want to glue this frame right here. First thing I'm going to do is cover the back of this frame with some score tape. Okay, so I was also going to add wet glue, but this thing is super sticky with all that score tape. So I'm just gonna go with that. So I'm gonna bring my page over and place this where I want it. So cute. So now I'm gonna really press that down. It needs to really be pressed down into the fibers of that paper so it doesn't come up. So get all the edges. Isn't that so cute? That's my cover. So now that I have that done, we can go ahead and add it back here to the stack, and I can show you now how we're gonna bind this together. It is so simple. Okay, so I grabbed some seam binding, and this beautiful crinkled fluffy dyed seam binding is from my favorite Etsy shop, MyScrapcabin. So the two colors that I pulled here are Cherry and Sea Mist, and they go perfectly with the colors in this album. And I have a coupon code for 10% off also, so I'll leave that below so you can go over and get some beautiful seam binding. So I'm gonna take 4 lengths of the album. So like this is a length. I'm gonna take 4 lengths of that and cut it off. So for each piece, you're gonna do the same length, of course. I do recommend, if you're gonna use seam binding, to use 2 pieces, but you can also use twine for this, yarn, ribbon, whatever you have. Okay, so I'm gonna cut 2 even pieces there. And now we have the 2 pieces, and we're gonna go ahead and bind this together. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the 2 ends and kind of twist them together. And this top end is gonna go through the top holes, and make sure you don't rip the holes. So I'm just gonna do it like this, and I'm gonna go through each one. So I'm gonna take like 3 pages at a time. Okay, so now that we have that through the top holes, be very careful, but go ahead and pull that through. And then what we're gonna do is now feed the bottom part, twist it together, and we're gonna feed that part through all the bottom holes. Okay, so now that we have them through the top and the bottom, turn this over, and you're gonna pull the seam binding until you have it even. So this is the back of the album. You're gonna go ahead and pull that until both tails are even. So here's the tails, and as you can see, they're basically even. So then you turn it back to the front, and it's like this just straight strip right here of seam binding. So what I do is I do 2 at a time. So I'm gonna do these 2 first. Just twist the end so it's more narrow, and then I'm gonna stick it through that hole. I have these tweezers. I'm just gonna like push it through with the tweezers. There we go. That made it way easier. I should have been doing that from the first place. Okay, so as you can see, I got the first 2 through the middle hole, and it comes out the front like this. So then just do the same thing for this. It's gonna be a little bit tougher because there's already seam binding in there, but you're just gonna take it and feed it through the hole. And again, I'm gonna take my tweezers to help it through there. And then come back to the front. And now both of them are through that middle hole. So I'm gonna take these 2 and separate them from these two. So this one I'm gonna tuck under that middle strip. And then here's the other one, and we're just gonna tie a cute fluffy bow. Do it pretty tight, but I would just do it like a normal bow. Don't do a double. I'm not gonna do a double knot for now. We'll see if we need it. But it makes the most beautiful, fluffy, cute little bow, and it does not obstruct any of the pages because it's all on its own on these little strips that we created. So here's our beautiful front cover, and we have all of our pocket pages, and I'll show you what we're gonna do with those in a minute. And we have this big area here, more pockets, flippy pages. How easy is this album? And it's so cute, and it's a really nice size too. 8 by 8 is pretty big. Lots of room for pictures and journaling and receipts for anything that you buy for Christmas or whatever. Okay, so here's how the back looks. And we're back to the front. So now I need to decorate all my pages and add the numbers, and I will be right back to share how you're gonna get 25 days of Christmas in this cute little album. Okay, so I'm back to share the completed album with you. I absolutely love how it turned out. So let's do a full flip through. So again, it's 8 by 8 plus this little 3/4 of an inch spine. There's the front and the back. I used so much of this paper collection. I love it so much. I love the teal and red together. It's so pretty. So here's the cover. Again, I just put one of those chipboard frames on there, and oh my gosh, I was able to use all the chipboard frames throughout the album, so you'll see how that looks. I showed you the sheet in the beginning of the video that have the numbers on them, so this is the perfect collection for this. So over here over here is number 1, and I glued it down there, and I just tucked a little Christmas list card in the pocket. And day 2 is this little fold out because I had a couple of these left from what we cut down. Then I just cut this out of the tag sheet. So here's day 2, and it's a little booklet. So here's day 3. It's this little pocket that we made, and I just put a little journal card in there, but more stuff can fit in this pocket. And I put this paper clip here because this was driving me crazy that it kept popping up, but this is just a little tag flip out, and you can journal in here. And so that's just a little double tag. And so this entire unit, like little pocket unit, is day 3. So there's the number right there, and then it's the front and back plus the pocket. So here is another one of those chipboard frames. This is day 4, so this spread is all day 4. And photos can be slipped down in here, so I just put these little journal cards in as placeholders. So this is days 5, 6, and 7. So I'll take those out real quick. This is day 5, so like this area here, all this, in the pocket. And then day 6, I pulled a little envelope out of my stash, and it's just these. I got them from Hobby Lobby. You get like all these colors, and I just get them when they're 40% off. So this is day 6. Here's my little number, and I put a little journal label right here. And that's from the sticker sheet. Isn't that the cutest sticker? And then in here, I just put some journal cards. And then tons more stuff can fit in there. If you do Christmas shopping or your little card list or whatever, more pictures, they can go in there. So that's day 6. And then day 7 is just a place for a nice photo right here, or journaling, and then more journaling or a photo here. So that's the only page where I had to do 3. And then here is day 8. It's another one of these cute fold-out tags. And so I just put it here inside the pocket. And then I have a journaling card in the pocket. Then here's my little number 8. And I added a tag here, and I just glued it down. And then of course I have the paper clip here. It looks cute, plus it keeps that down. So there's day 8, and of course pocket can fill more stuff. And then here is day 9. I just made a little cluster down here with a tag and a journal card, and then the number 9. And then stuff can fit behind here because I left it open, and I just glued it like around there. So that's day 9. So here's day 10. This nice area here and here, plus inside the pocket. And then 11 is a cute spot for a photo here. and a little decorative piece there. So isn't that the cutest little number? The letter to Santa thing is so cute. So that's 10 and 11. Here's our flip page, day 12. A journal card went right in there. And then for this, I put the number on the tag flip out. So I thought that was pretty cute, and that's adorable. And here's the pocket, and then it just goes right back there. I started to film all the process of me decorating this, but the video would have been like 3 hours long. So I know you like to know how to do the structure of the albums that I make and then decorate and make them your own. So that's day 12. Day 13 is this cute chipboard frame here. I left the top open so you can put like a 4x6 photo in there. Day 13. Here's day 14 and 15. So here's 14.
It was the night before Christmas. I was closing down for business in my little present shop, when the bell on the door jingled once more, and then time almost came to a stop. But somehow I knew, and maybe so did you, that everything would change from now on. Yes, from this Christmas on.
Okay, so that is day 25, and there is our album. I really enjoyed making this, and I'm glad it came together the way it was in my mind. And I just love how the album came out. Imagine this as like your December daily, or just a Christmas countdown, or a planner, or anything. I really hope that you enjoyed this project, and I hope you'll give it a try. I'm so glad you're joining me for my Christmas in July series. The next video is set to come out on Thursday. So I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.